Pricing for me is such an interesting topic, and I really don't like how it's become like charge your worth. Because how the fuck do you figure out what your worth is, right? Where do you start? So for me, like, it doesn't matter what anyone charges at all. It shouldn't matter what your neighbor charges. It shouldn't matter what your friend charges. It shouldn't matter what any other stylist in the industry charges. What should matter is if you are profitable. That's what should matter. That's what matters most. So how I decide what I'm charging is driven by two things. One is expenses and the other demand. How I've come up with our prices, we call it a profitable pricing method. How we have come up with that is by simply adding together your fixed costs, which is rent, your variable costs, which is color, marketing, towels, all that kind of stuff, and then you yourself should be a cost to your business, right? So once you add all that together, then you divide that down by how many hours you want to work in that week, and then you have what you should be charging hourly just to be paid. Doesn't mean you're making profit though, right? It's just to get paid. So let's just say for the sake of numbers, your hourly rate, so you get paid, is $100 an hour. If you want to add profit onto that, then you've got to add margin. You know how you buy a bottle of shampoo and it's $20, but then you sell it for $40 because there's margin, and that's how you make profit on a bottle of shampoo? Treat yourself the same way. If you add margin, and let's say we add 50% margin, that means your 50% margin will end up being $150 per hour. And that's so you have margin. That means you're going to make profit after you pay taxes. With $150 per hour, you can then create a pricing structure that's profitable. So for example, if your full head of highlights takes 2 hours to apply, then you should be charging $225 for that full head of highlights for a 2-hour service. If it's a service that takes 30 minutes, then you can charge $75 for that 30-minute service. That way, no matter how long something takes you, as long as you've allocated the correct time, you're going to be making profit based on the time it takes for it to be applied. Does that make sense?